Hello and welcome to the Suburbanites Podcast. I'm Connor.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jack.
What was that laugh?
I don't know. It's just you were talking like that a second ago, and then you're like, "Hello," and it's just funny. It's nice.
You
Was
put
it
on
funny?
a fake personality for the people.
Yeah, dude, I'm
you
so
shouldn't
fake.
lie to our viewers.
I'm a
You know,
fake
it's just
bitch.
you are.
Are there viewers? They're listeners, Jack.
There's viewers, listeners. You know, they're viewing the sounds through their ears.
Shut up,
you
Jack.
know?
We're off to a bad start already. So, no gym this week. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
It's
been
very
a-
sad.
I didn't go to the gym either.
He meant Jimmy McEwen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in
Dead.
high school. Dead. Yeah, or he died, yeah. We're not... Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah, well, he's probably not listening because he doesn't listen to any of these podcasts. If you are listening, Jim, we love you. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Last week,
When have you ever said nitty gritty before?
Shut up. Last week, Chris, after we finished the podcast, Jimmy came up with something that we should have talked about on that podcast.
Okay.
The whistling.
The whistling.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How Jimmy can't whistle, right? Wasn't that it? Something like that?
Yeah, alright, so I was playing Assassin's Creed while we were waiting for you because you were like an hour late, or
Yeah.
2 hours. We were ridiculously late. And I was playing Assassin's Creed on Jimmy's Xbox One, and he convinced me that he had the
Connect?
Kinect, and he could whistle and do the thing. So I thought I was screwing with him for the entire game, but he didn't have it. I don't know where he wanted me to go with this.
Because
but...
what did he say? He was like, he was like, if you whistle, the Kinect will pick it up,
Yeah.
and then
No, he
Assassin's Creed can read you whistling.
I knew that was a function with the Kinect. Like, in a lot of games, they have stuff like that where you can say things and it'll do stuff in the game. And he started whistling to whistle in the game. And I was like, oh no, you can do this? And he's like, oh yeah, you can definitely do that. So I started trying to screw up his game by whistling. And it didn't work.
Yeah, but then he said something like, he can't whistle at all. Jimmy just can't whistle, or something like that.
He was whistling fine when I was
Oh,
there.
was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. We
did
got
a
on the
fine
topic
job.
of like, because he thought I was weird because like I when I whistle I breathe in when I whistle. I'm like,
That is weird.
Yeah.
I
You're
don't
doing,
know
you're doing it
just-
wrong.
I can
That's
whistle
wrong.
pretty fine. I can't like whistle blowing out.
That's embarrassing. You need to check
You're-
yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
So that was all I had about whistling.
Well, that brings us to the Xbox One Connect function with all like the voice commands and stuff. I think it's pretty neat.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Can it pick up whistling? Like,
I
is
think
that
so. I think
I
that's a
don't think
legitimate
anything-
function.
I don't think anything will happen if you whistle into your Kinect.
Well,
but, like,
I mean, as far as the
And why would Assassin's Creed have a whistling
so
thing?
the idea behind the whistling in Assassin's Creed is you distract people or you draw their attention towards you, so they like
okay.
come over and you're
I
like
got
hiding in a bush and then you're like.
But
cut
why
them off.
whistle? Can't you just say, like, I'm here? Like,
No,
no?
because then
Can't.
they'd be like, "Hey, there's a guy over here." They're not like,
But-
"I'm investigating this noise."
Obviously, it's going to be a
We're not
guy.
gonna
What,
tell
do
you-
they chase
Let's not
birds or
talk about
something
the
like that?
realism of a game where you dive off of like 100-story
the
high
hay
buildings
is pretty
into
soft.
small baskets.
That's a
of hay.
good amount of hay right there.
There's like a woman walking by with like a hand basket full of hay, and you dive
the
into
hay
it
is
from
literally
300
pillows.
feet.
Actually, cool channel called Game Theory.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen
They
those
you seen them?
Yeah.
They actually disproved how you literally cannot do that.
Yeah, they
Even
like,
though everybody
recalculated
already
the-
knew
Yeah,
that you couldn't do that.
but they calculated the actual physics behind it.
Yeah.
Like the gravity is all messed up on this weird planet. So pretty much the moral of that story is video games do not mimic real life.
Yeah. Also, don't jump off cathedrals into bales of hay.
Definitely
Yeah.
don't do that.
So
Take the stairs down.
so movies. You guys see what became of Mordecai?
No.
That
No,
Johnny
I haven't.
Depp movie? 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Definitely worth a watch.
I'm still going to see it. Gwyneth Paltrow? I mean,
Ewan McGregor's in it too.
So I
Sure.
think there's a thing with these ratings where like if it's above a certain point, you need to watch it, and then like all the middle junk, you definitely don't need to watch it, and then the
Below.
very lower end, like below 15%, is a must see.
like Left Behind, which you just won't watch with me, Connor.
I think like
Hold on, we need to explain what Left Behind is.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause the viewers were not treated to this. Left Behind got a 2% on Rotten
Connor, it's
Tomatoes.
listeners, not viewers.
I'm gonna kill you, Jack.
got him.
Okay,
Listeners,
so
I
Left
just high-fived Chris.
So Left Behind is it got a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a movie about Nicolas Cage, and what happens? Everybody just vanishes.
It's the Rapture.
The Rapture.
Yeah.
And
It's like, this is the end, but without the funny parts.
it's like a serious. This is the end because like a bunch of people just like poof away, right?
Yeah,
It's just their
it's
clothes
just-
left.
And like the babies did, but their binkies are still there. And I'm like, what?
Well, they're not dead. They go to heaven, right?
No, they just like disappeared.
Yeah, they go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Or is it? Or is there some twist and it wasn't really the rapture? Who knows? I got a 2%, so.
So nobody gives a fuck.
But see, this is what I'm saying, though. Like, for a movie critic to give something that low of a score, there's got to be something special.
Well,
exactly.
Okay, the way Rotten Tomatoes works, common misconception. It's a bunch of critics saying whether they liked or disliked the movie. And that's the percentage of critics that liked the movie.
But then can't you go in to see like which critic?
Yeah,
and
no,
then,
yeah.
Like, yeah.
You can look at individual like.
I thought they gave like each critic gave a percent. Maybe I'm thinking of a different website.
I'm pretty sure the way I'm not sure, but I know the way. I think the way Rotten Tomatoes works is they either give it the tomato or they give it like the bleh,
Yeah, that one.
like the vomit, and like
is it vomit? Like I always thought it was like a smashed tomato, but it's not green inside, is it? Or is that like
maybe it's
rotting?
Maybe it's
like
a rotten tomato. Yeah.
But then like
That's a good name for a website. You should check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, people.
It is a website.
Jack, stop.
Okay.
What I'm saying, though, yeah, I mean, you have to agree that something that has that low of a score, that's got to be fun to
It
watch.
takes skill. Like honestly, I don't think a Christopher Nolan could do that. Like
I really don't think he could.
no offense, Christopher. I'm sorry. Nolan, not you.
I saw Mordecai, didn't like it.
Wait, you saw it?
No, I mean I saw the trailer.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I apologize. I saw the trailer for Mordecai and it looked like crap.
All the more reason to watch it.
I know.
Except for that one part in the trailer where he shoots the guy.
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
Man down.
That was pretty funny.
I might watch it for that. Yeah.
Besides that, no. None of it was funny.
We can watch it.
I liked his mustache.
His mustache that may win an Oscar.
Yeah. Best makeup.
Screw Steve Carell for
No, that's not
Foxcatcher.
even real. CGI. How much did Age of Extinction get? Transformers 4.
That's
what is the Rotten Tomatoes score on that?
Oh, I
would
thought you
look
meant
it up.
like money because that get a lot of money.
It made over
I need to check that,
100 million,
I
didn't
think
it?
this.
Are we talking
I
about
think this
Transformers 4
conforms
right
to
now?
my series.
Yes.
My
Because
theory.
these assholes made me watch Transformers.
Oh my god,
4.
it was such an experience.
They made
Watch
me
it now,
watch it.
listeners.
Please.
The product
pay money
placement.
for it.
No, never. I'll loan you the DVD. Just
It was awful.
I'm so glad
It was
I
one
watched
of the
It got
worst
an
movies.
18.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It was terrible.
Aren't you glad you saw it?
No.
though? You're better for it.
I'm not.
The product placement, the Dinobots.
Should we talk about the product placement? Just because
Can we talk about the
ridiculous?
product
God.
placement? The
The
Beats
Beats.
pill. Just
All right.
I can't.
So, since this movie's a piece of shit, and you all shouldn't watch it anyway.
There are no twists. There's nothing to
No,
spoil
there's nothing to
here.
spoil. At one point, there's this like thing that becomes matter for some reason. It's never explained as to what it is.
Oh, it's
or why.
magical.
It's
Transformer metal.
Transformium.
Yeah.
But it transforms into stuff. And so all the avenues they could have gone with it. What's the guy's name? The bald guy?
Oh, I don't know.
So the scientist guy.
One of the guys, yeah. He's like throwing the metal around all around him and stuff, and it's all cool and stuff. And then of all the things he could possibly make, he makes a Beats pill.
And then he announces the product. Like
Yes.
He says, the Beats pill.
The pill. And I was like, this can't be real life. This can't actually happen in a movie.
I love
This
you
is too
thought
ridiculous.
that was the worst product
Yeah, I thought that
placement.
was it. That was like halfway through the movie. And then Bud Light happened.
Bud Light happened.
And Bud Light... Again, so in the middle of a city, there's a Bud Light truck going through. Totally conspicuous versus all the other cars that are not
All the
labeled or anything.
unmarked citizens' vehicles.
Yeah, and then Bud Light stands out. It explodes because everything explodes in Michael Bay movies.
Everything.
All of the cans of Bud Light managed to land.
Bright blue aluminum twist-off cans.
And none
That
of them have
managed-
blown up either.
Yeah, they all managed to land face up, label up.
Yep.
And so the driver of the Bud Light truck goes up to Mark Wahlberg, who's the lead in the movie, and says like, "Hey, I want. Do you have insurance? I got to pay for that." And Mark Wahlberg was driving a spaceship, which blew it up, and said, "What did he say?
He's
You
like,
can't get insurance on a spaceship."
That's a spaceship. Yeah. And then he pops open
And then
a
he-
twistable Bud Light bottle.
And then he sees the Bud Light on the ground, picks it up, cracks it open on some guy's car, and drinks it like it's straight out of a commercial.
And he just gets the foam too. It's
Yeah.
such a horrible.
The most frustrating part is that it's an aluminum twist-off, like it's a re-screwable top. Like you twist it off and you can twist it back on. You've seen these aluminum bottles before, and he hits the top of it like it's a pop-off on the car door, and it opens.
Michael Bay.
That doesn't
ladies
happen.
and gentlemen. Just.
I like that that's what pissed you off the most. Not the fact that it was
so
there in
upset.
the first place.
No, somebody had to fund that wonderful piece of film.
Shit.
Oh, so we can't swear.
Terrible, awful movie.
Oh,
Don't ever see it.
Wasn't there
Watch
more
it
product placement?
Oh,
The
there's
Victoria's Secret bus?
Yeah.
There's this awesome slow motion scene. Like, I gotta give Michael Bay credit. Sometimes he can direct an action scene. Sometimes, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
When there was a camera panning and the robots were fighting and they were somersaulting and blowing the crap out of each other, but in the middle of that shot was a Victoria's Secret poster.
No, it was a bus.
Oh yeah, it was like an ad on a bus stop,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. In the middle of the shot of these amazing robots somersaulting and blowing stuff up through the streets, I get a Victoria's Secret ad right in the middle of my shot.
Yep. Perfect.
It's not. It's awful.
And then they run over it too. Like they roll over it, and everything like of the bus stop like is destroyed, but that Victoria's Secret sign.
It's fine.
It's wonderful.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
loved it.
And they
I'm so
randomly
glad
went to
you
China
said
for
that.
no reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we watch that?
And they got there so
tonight?
quickly too.
Oh my god, so quickly.
Because I was talking to somebody, and he was like, I was like, yeah, that part where they randomly went to China, and he's like, you realize they did that so they can make another $500 million at the box office, right?
Yes.
Oh god, that was.
We should watch that after this.
Fuck that movie.
I just like the fact that everybody in China knew martial arts, and so when they wanted like the dramatic fight sequence between the like agent guy and Mark Wahlberg, they burst into somebody's home and he was like behind some sort of steel cage for some reason. He couldn't get to them to help.
No.
So many lines in that
can't.
movie.
There are so many lines in that movie.
I think we should leave it to them to find out.
No.
Just
Please
Warren's
like
face.
find somewhere to watch this for free
Anyway.
Don't
and just enjoy it.
pay money to watch this.
Yeah, but
Please.
watch it.
We were at Target. the
No,
other day,
don't watch it.
and
Watch it.
our friend literally had to stop somebody from buying it, and she thanked him for it. Like that happened.
Wait.
Yeah.
Colin did that?
Yeah.
He stopped somebody from buying it?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
there's
happened?
two
They were
ladies.
considering. Yeah, they were like ladies over there, and they're like, "Oh, should I get this?" And he's like, "Don't. You really should not pay money for that."
I need to thank
She's
God.
like, "Thank you for that."
Colin doing a public service.
Oh my god, that's charity.
That lady. He saved her.
Oh, before I forget and mention at the tail end of this podcast, we're on Twitter. I was supposed to open with that, but I didn't. We are on Twitter because I always finish with it, and I'm like, if they don't finish the podcast, they're not going to know we're on Twitter.
Yeah, nobody makes it through the middle.
Nah,
I tried once.
I don't.
Yeah, well,
I always get like 5 minutes in.
good to know.
Yeah.
Well, we're 12 minutes in right now. So,
So I've stopped
you-
listening.
So you already lost Jack.
Yeah,
He's
you
not
lost
gonna
me.
Subscribe.
well, we're on Twitter at Suburbanites Pod. Podcast. You can't fit podcast on.
Okay, so it's just a pod,
Yeah, Suburbanites Pod, all one word.
a pea pod kind of thing. That's what they're
Follow
gonna
us, and you'll be a cool kid.
It was really easy to find. I typed
Really?
in Suburbanites Podcast, and it was one of the things that came up.
Oh, that's cool. So,
Surprisingly.
taking it from Chris, who actually is one of our 3 followers.
Yes.
Oh, I'll do that. I don't have a Twitter though, but I'll. Can you follow if you're not
No.
on Twitter?
No, you have
But
to
the
have an
points
account.
of having an account
I-
before.
Oh, I've made it a point of like never going on Twitter, ever.
Well, you should, because Twitter's pretty cool.
Yeah, you should
Um,
follow this podcast. I heard they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I have this
Yeah.
kid named Jack on there sometimes.
Oh yeah, he sounds kind of cool.
He's a nerd.
Are we
Wow.
done with this?
Yeah.
I'm
I was
Jack.
just trying to say we're on Twitter. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, we're on Twitter.
Yeah. God damn it.
Connor, you should tell people that we're on Twitter.
So Simon Pegg, he's in the Star Trek movies, the new Star Trek movies, like
He's Scotty.
Into Darkness and the other one too,
Yeah.
the J.J. Abrams ones.
Yeah.
So
Those are
they
quality
can't
movies.
find a director, or maybe a writer. I don't think they can find a
Right.
writer
Okay.
for the new Star Trek movie, and it's kind of a crisis.
He's writing it.
He's co-writing it.
Yes.
Yes.
Shaun
Simon
of the
Pegg.
Dead.
Simon Pegg co-writing Star
Wait.
Trek 3.
So
can't
did he have any part in the writing of the other 3 movies that he was in? Shaun
He
of the
was
Dead, Hot Fuzz, and
I know
World's End?
he helped in the
World's
directing
End.
and
World's End.
World's End, yeah. I know he helped in the directing, and I'm pretty sure the production.
Okay, then
I can
I'm
look
happy.
it up. He definitely had a hand in it. I know Nick Frost did not have a hand in it. It was mainly Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg.
I'm excited for this then because
Indeed.
I like those movies, but they're very different from what the new Star Trek movies have been.
Yeah,
So
That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be great to
Yeah.
see.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
I'm looking
I-
it up right now.
I say
Oh.
literally every time I'm on this podcast how I like to see actors in different lights and like actually performing different roles, and I saw that with him from those 3 movies into the Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
and
And,
that was great to see.
It's such a good fit too.
Oh, he did
Like,
write.
yeah.
He wrote Shaun of the Dead, and I'm pretty sure that means he wrote all the other ones as well.
Yeah.
Did you see the new Mission Impossible?
Oh yeah, he
the
was
one
in
he was
that.
in that.
Yep.
Yeah, he was in MI3 too, which you need to watch.
Okay, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I was not expecting to be good at all.
Yeah.
I wanted to hate that movie so much.
No, but compared to the third, it's awful.
I had never seen.
The third,
That was
Philip
the
Seymour
only.
Hoffman.
That was the only Mission Impossible movie I've seen. It was amazing. I didn't want to like it at all, but it was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at writer.
I just love how Tom Cruise tries to be so serious, but he can't.
Yeah.
In Mission Impossible. That's the only. I love watching him do it, but he can't do it
Dude,
at all.
the Tom Cruise run is amazing. Tom Cruise running is so funny.
It's so great.
So Simon Pegg wrote The World's End, wrote Paul, wrote Hot Fuzz, and he wrote Shaun of the Dead.
I want to see how he does writing for this.
I think he can do it.
Yeah,
Because the other two Star Treks, like, they have that bit of humor.
Yeah,
And I think Simon Pegg can do that.
that's like his humor. Too.
Exactly.
A little like,
But then again, they are very serious.
Yeah.
Star Trek. But it's got
Especially
that
into Dark
like,
humor.
they're dramatic, but they also have a lot of like comedy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comic relief.
It's just
and I think
they're
he
very
can-
good at balancing that.
Yeah.
Like, I think.
They're perfect movies.
Dude, Into Darkness was so good.
Oh.
I actually haven't seen the original Star Trek. Like
You haven't seen
2001.
Wrath of Khan?
What? No.
Like,
You
no,
haven't
no, no.
watched all of the Star Trek TV episodes?
Nope.
So my dad was a huge Trekkie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like my aunt like him and my aunt were just like, he's so into it. He continues to watch it. He knows so much about it and everything. And he loves these new movies.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
not
think
hearing
that's
anybody
pretty good.
say anything bad
Yeah.
about these movies.
Yeah, my dad was
They
the
do a
same
great
way.
job.
Yeah, he was a Trekkie and he likes it. Yeah.
I haven't seen the 2009 J.J. Abrams one. I saw
The
Into
first-
Darkness.
yeah, that was
Into Darkness was so good.
The first one was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Into Darkness was a bit better.
Yeah,
But it's
I
like,
think so.
still watch the first one.
Dude,
like,
Benedict
I like it.
Cumberbatch was so
Oh,
good.
he's perfect as Khan. Like, just.
He was an amazing Khan.
I am Khan. It's just.
Yeah, that movie is great. Go see that movie if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
I saw it twice, actually.
Watch that after you watch Transformers 4 because it'll be such a great change.
Yes.
So I realized something about the Oscar noms after we stopped talking about it last week. Jake Gyllenhaal did not get nominated for Nightcrawler.
I still haven't seen it. I couldn't find
I
it
didn't see
anywhere.
it either, so
You
we
didn't
can't
see it?
really talk about this. But
Well,
I
I
am
can tell
also
you-
frustrated.
I can tell you that's a problem.
How dare they?
Yeah, it was
Frustration.
it was a good movie. You should see it.
No, Ray Fiennes. Just.
Jake Gyllenhaal was better than Ray Fiennes.
But why is he not on the Oscars? I don't understand. Like, are the Oscars just spiting
No,
Wes Anderson?
It's a hard race this year, dude.
Ray Fiennes was perfect.
There were so many good movies.
I'm sorry,
There were
Ray
so
Fiennes
many
was
good movies
perfect.
this year.
I'm just saying, he could
Within
have taken
the
out.
last 2 weeks, I saw movies that were in theaters, and they were all amazing.
Yeah.
This was like it wasn't many
Speaking
movies,
of
but
which-
this was a good year for movies.
Speaking of which,
Taken 3?
we all saw American Sniper.
Oh, can we talk
We
about
have
Taken
all
3?
seen
Wait, we
American
haven't said.
Sniper.
Okay.
No, we're not talking about Taken 3. Fuck you guys.
You know what we have to say.
You know
But
how I
later.
know?
Shut
The
up.
bagels!
This is some stupid.
They were
inside-
warm.
This is some stupid inside joke from Taken 3,
No,
and
and
they
you could
have
be in
not
on it.
shut up.
Just
about it.
watch Taken 3 and you can be in on this joke.
This has been my life for the past 2 weeks. Is them not shutting up about these goddamn warm bagels.
Who's the bagels?
That's the best way you can summarize that. Connor. I'm so happy you said it that way.
Okay, anyway, American Sniper.
I liked it.
I liked it as well.
There
It's a
weren't
good
enough
movie.
bagels.
Um,
Okay, American Sniper.
Yeah,
Did you saw it, right, Jack?
Yeah, no, I
You
did.
saw it.
I liked it.
There's been a lot of controversy over it, but it's mostly like people who don't understand the movie that get really upset and like decide that they have to go kill Islamic people.
Yeah. You get some idiots.
Yeah.
I understand the
For a
line.
movie that made $93 million its opening weekend,
Yeah.
you're gonna get some idiots.
Insane, yeah.
So what I think it's all stemming from is the fact that people don't understand that the point of view that he had. He's not like a perfect person in this movie,
No.
so everything he says is not fact. And when he starts, being very blunt in his description of Islamic people and very like one-sided with it, that's from the point of view of somebody who's only seen the worst of these people, and all he's seen is the front lines of this war and his friends dying, and he's been through a lot of pain through this, and like that's the point of view he's developed from it, because that's all the information he's had on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I originally didn't think that, but I agree with you now. But I still stand by the fact that they portrayed one Islamic person as sympathetic the entire movie.
Yeah, well, that's all that you would see on the front lines of it. That's
Yeah,
all,
exactly. Like the whole town was evacuated. They said like if you see a person there, they are going to try and kill you.
Fair enough.
Like that is
Fair enough.
It's not like they were going into a fully, citizen zones where, and there were more than one. They had the translator, and they had that family of people that tried to help them,
Yeah. But I just thought it was really good at portraying PTSD.
Yes.
I keep saying that, but it was
No, that's the reason to go see this movie.
that's I think that's the message. The rest of it is just that's what happened. They're not taking a stance.
It's not about Chris Kyle as being like a hero. It's not about the war. It's not a political statement. It's about PTSD.
A little bit nationalistic though.
A little bit, but it's
not as much. Not as much. To be fair,
Yeah.
not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be like hoorah.
Yeah,
America,
they play it out
yay.
like that. Yeah.
I think it's just as nationalistic as it has to be for a movie
Yeah.
that is dedicated to
an American
who's
soldier.
died.
Yeah, exactly.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
But there's still little bits of nationalism in
Yeah,
there.
there's that one.
You can't get away from it.
From that one line.
Yeah.
But it's mostly tame. It's mostly tame, and I was surprised at how tame it was, considering what I've seen of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great movie. Bradley Cooper did a great job.
He deserves that. He deserves a nomination.
He got
also.
Yeah,
huge
I'd say he deserves the nomination.
I went in thinking wow, that's kind of weird that he would be nominated for that, but
He didn't blow me away at the
deserves
beginning, but he really kind of came into his
the end,
own towards the middle and the end. Yeah,
He got massive.
yeah, he's swole. He's just wide. He was absolutely wide in that.
it. Yep.
When he was when they showed him working out at the army base, when he was lifting in.
Crazy.
There wasn't a shadow of a doubt in my mind that he was actually lifting.
No,
all
I
that
think he
weight.
did.
He was
Yeah.
deadlifting 445s. It was nuts.
I was scared.
Yeah, I was intimidated, and I was sitting in a movie theater.
He may get that Oscar just out of
I
intimidation.
think so.
If
The
I'm-
other Oscar.
Okay, to be fair, I'm gonna be kind of pissed if he gets the Oscar.
Oh no, he shouldn't.
He shouldn't win.
I still
Deserves the
need to see.
nomination.
I'm seeing Birdman tomorrow, probably, or something like that. But no, but he doesn't.
Michael Keaton has my nomination.
Rape Fines has mine.
But what else is Steve Carell and Foxcatcher? I rewatched Foxcatcher last night.
From the trailer,
Oh
it just
my
looks like
God.
he's amazing.
Foxcatcher was so good, dude.
Yeah.
It's my number 3 movie this year. All my top 1, 2, and 3 movies I've seen twice in the movie theater, and
What's your number 2?
Whiplash.
All right. That's 3
And,
movies I haven't seen.
Because I need to, I want to reaffirm their spots there. If they're gonna be my top 3, then because of all the movies I've seen this year, I need to make sure that I'm not missing anything, and they're just as good on a second watch.
Yeah.
And they are. They're amazing.
Also,
And I might go see Birdman for a 3rd time. So
the lack of Interstellar in the Oscars.
I think that's okay though. Because
Yeah.
Interstellar as a movie wasn't as great as these
Exactly.
other movies. But the most amazing thing about it, and this is why it's one of my top movies and one of the most interesting movies I think that came out this year, was the way that it leaves you feeling. Because everybody
Exactly.
I've talked to about it left there thinking it was the best movie they had ever seen.
Yep.
Just that feeling it gives you from watching it. But the longer
that
you
wasn't
think
me.
about it,
Gonna say that.
the
but-
less-
That was
you
me.
think about
Were you there with me?
Yeah,
When I
I-
was freaking out, I was like,
Yes.
I've witnessed the greatest movie of all time. That was,
Yes.
I saw it and I was like, that was a damn good movie.
Yep.
But everybody else was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
it's mind-blowing. I think that's the most interesting thing about it. And that's
Yeah.
why I like it a lot.
It does it really well.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I
need
mean,
to watch it
I
a
like the
second
movie.
time. I want to watch it a second time to see if I get that
don't.
effect.
I want to watch it
again.
a third game.
I got
a
it.
third time.
I got it. I feel like I got everything out of one watch of that movie.
I just
And
want
that's not a
test
bad
this.
thing, but I feel like I have no will to see it again.
I
Because I
wanna
got
test
everything
this.
out of it.
I want to see if I walk away and all of my doubts from before are shattered and I'm like, this is the most amazing movie again.
It dulls down a bit from seeing it 2 times.
Yeah.
Just a bit. You still get that that feeling though,
Okay.
but it's just.
But I'm okay. I really did like the movie, but I'm okay with Matthew McConaughey not getting any nominations.
Oh,
yeah.
Because it was
I
such a
agree
tough.
with
It
you.
was such a tough race this year.
Yeah, and also their characters didn't call for.
I think
amazing
McConaughey's
acting.
did. I think McConaughey was the exception because I would normally agree with you.
Okay,
except
him
for
crying.
Yeah, that was
that
big.
for me.
He did a fantastic job.
I cried
but,
with him.
but I don't think it deserved Best Picture
I think
nomination.
Cage-
Oh no,
It's
I
like-
didn't. Yeah, not
It was just such a tough race this year,
Did you
and
say Nick Cage?
I think Cage should have gotten a Best Supporting Actor nomination from that. The Robot.
the robot was pretty cool. Tars, right?
Dude,
Tars and Cage, right? Those
Yeah.
were the two.
Tars was the
Tars was
main
one
one.
that was, yeah.
Yeah.
But Cage, though,
Dude, Cage.
don't sleep on him.
Literally don't. That's an Interstellar thing. But he I lost my train of thought. Best Picture. I think that it was too tough a race this year, and it just kind of didn't stack up
Yeah.
to the other nominees. That's not to say it was a bad movie, And I really do want Christopher Nolan. Has Christopher Nolan won an Oscar? Did he get anything for The Dark Knight?
He's got to be.
Did he get anything for The Dark
I
Knight?
can't remember if he got anything for The
Don't
Dark
look at
Knight.
me. I know nothing.
He's definitely gotten something for something. I know that.
But not much.
Not much.
Not as much as he deserves.
Okay. Oh, and speaking of the whole like freaking out after the after watching Interstellar, I'm pretty sure that caused the what is Interstellar at in IMDb's top 250? Like 13 now.
Ridiculous.
It's 13 or 17. That was the first day. It was 11. I think it topped Fight Club.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It was, Jesus.
Not even close to that good.
But I mean, I think it deserves to be on that list. But 13,
Probably in the 200s.
Okay, well,
Okay, when you look at all the other movies that are there, dude, come on. I just had I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Forgetting a lot.
I am forgetting. Oh, hi! I saw. Are we done with Interstellar?
We're done with
this? Okay.
Wait. I have details about Oscars for Christopher Nolan. Doesn't look like he was even nominated.
Christopher.
Well, he wasn't nominated this year. But like ever, you're talking about?
Not nominated ever.
Wow, that's actually pretty surprising.
Indeed.
I know there's some like person screaming at their computer saying he was nominated for this.
He was nominated for there are a lot of things he was nominated for, but I don't see Oscars on the list unless IMDb is just withholding information from me.
Oh, it's got to be.
But yeah, I saw How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Good.
The other day. I really did like it. It was awesome. It was better than the first one, which is very surprising.
I haven't seen the first.
First one was really good. It was because I normally am not the biggest fan of DreamWorks stuff, but I really, really loved it. It was so good. And I liked it because everything kind of had weight for a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. But the movie was fantastic, and this has nothing to do with the movie because the movie was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I've been noticing a startling kind of trope in kids' movies where I feel like the only way they can get across emotion is with loss.
Yeah. No, I see that. Yeah.
And I mean, it's done well in most movies, but can't they elicit emotions in other fashions? Like, you think about Big Hero 6, there was a loss. There's a loss in How to Train Your Dragon, loss in How to Train Your Dragon 2. Spoilers, think of any kids movie you've seen in the last 5 years, and they all have a loss.
I think that might go to like the psychological state of a child, though. A child that's not fully developed won't completely have all the empathy that an adult would. So we can understand emotions in a different way. We can be more empathetic in that way. But kids are very apathetic in a lot of different situations, but loss is something that they can understand pretty easily.
Yeah, but we all like those movies too.
Yeah, because loss is real. It cuts deep.
It does cut deep, but I mean, can I have a kids movie that has emotions that aren't elicited through loss?
Talk to DreamWorks about that, though. They'll make a movie for you or something. just especially for
No, but I like in How to Train Your Dragon how things have weight. Like, have you seen the first How to Train Your Dragon?
No, I didn't. I saw parts, I think.
Well, if you watch the first How to Train Your Dragon, by the end you'll know that things actually do have weight in this particular universe in kids' movie, unlike other kids' movies, where loss is not dealt with the same. Not saying it's not done well, but in other kids' movies, it's not nearly done as well as it is in How to Train Your Dragon.
There was a loss in Taken 3.
Can we stop?
Taken
This fucking Taken 3.
They lost the bagels.
They lost the bagels. Forrest Whitaker took the bagels.
This has been my life.
And ate the bagels.
This has been my life.
This is like Transformers 4, but it's actually worth paying money for it.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I asked you guys to come up with a list of your top 10 villains in movies. And then Jack said, does it have to be 10? And I said, yeah, it has to be 10. And he's like, but I can't come up with 10. And then he racked his brain and almost killed himself over the fact that he couldn't place 10 villains.
I can't do it!
List. And so I said, fine, whatever number you want, I don't care.
Yay, okay.
Jack. So now, Chris, you would probably have a bullshit list, so you go first.
In the interest of not having the same villains that you guys would pick,
of course.
I picked 5 about 10, 15 minutes before we started.
Your number
this.
1 is perfect, may I say.
My number 1.
No,
Should I start top or bottom?
No, start bottom.
Oh.
Right,
You gotta have some kind of build up here.
All right.
I'm not going to give my number 1 last because I have one real thing on this list that's going to spark an actual conversation.
Oh, we need one of those.
So I'm going to start with the fax machine from Office Space.
Perfect. Have you seen Office Space?
I've seen Office
That's
Space.
a pretty.
It's gonna be this kind of list.
That's a pretty solid villain. Right?
It's gonna be this kind of list
because it brings the people together, gives them something to like
It's the
It's a
perfect
connection.
symbol.
It's a connection
as well. Yeah,
and it's a symbol of the enslavement of the office world.
yeah, exactly.
Number
what
4.
It's like to live there. My next one, the monkeys from the Rugrats. Do you remember? Did you see the Rugrats movie?
Right over my
All
head.
right. So they get lost in the woods because series of events and plot, and they're in the woods, and these monkeys that escaped from a circus start harassing them. And at first they're having fun. They're like, "We're children, and like this is great. We're babies. We're having fun." And then like things get real because they take the baby, and it kind of teaches them, and it forces them to grow up a little bit. And it's a good message for children growing up, coming of age, and having to take a little bit more responsibility. And you can't always have fun. You can't always be a monkey.
I really wish I could take your picture and then put it in the podcast.
Oh, mine? Oh, no. That's a great villain. Number 3.
Yeah. My next one is Wilson from Castaway.
Fucking A.
As a villain?
For no reason at all.
Number 2.
Wait, I just want to say I cried a lot when Wilson was going away.
See, because
Spoilers. Number 2.
I saw it because I saw that ball over there, and I was like, that reminds me of Wilson. And I put it on the list, and I figured your reactions to that would be enough to warrant it being on my list.
Okay.
Hedley Lamar from Blazing Saddles.
Headley.
Never
Great
actually
villain.
seen that movie.
Very well
Bro,
portrayed.
we've seen
He's a
Is
bad
this actually
person.
is
He does
this
a
your
great
actual
job.
villain?
Yeah.
No, he's
Okay.
a good
Because-
villain.
No, I wanted to
manages-
make sure because I haven't seen the movie.
Through his villainous actions, he manages to teach a town that it's not okay to be racist, and that black people are people too.
I mean,
So pretty much,
he's a villain?
in
Sounds like a hero.
in his attempt to get this slave killed, he makes the slave the sheriff of this town, this all white racist town, because this is back in like the old West, and racism is a thing, and it's very prominent and it's accepted and everything, and there's still slavery. But his plan also involves everybody in this town leaving, so it's a twofold situation here. They'll kill the black guy, they won't have a sheriff, they'll all leave, and then he can build the railroad to go through the town. But it ends up backfiring on him when the black guy, the slave, actually ends up being like a really awesome person and brings the town together and fights back, and they win. And
Cool.
Watch Blazing.
Yeah, I need to see this movie.
it's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
We can watch it later. I haven't it.
Okay.
Great villain.
Number
And-
1.
My last villain,
Great.
Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Not a villain.
He is absolutely a villain.
Not a villain. Okay, before we start this, we don't want to get into spoilers.
I know.
Because this is one of my favorite movies, and I want people... And the twist is amazing in this movie, so I don't want this twist ruined for people.
You will be the mediator. You'll be like warning sign if we get into dangerous territory.
Okay.
For Tyler.
Because we do not want to spoil this movie for people. Because this movie
Yes.
is amazing. This is Fight Club, by the way.
So,
Go see Fight Club.
do you guys, when I mentioned this before, you brought up the argument that he actually helps Edward Norton's character, Jack. We'll call him Jack because...
Do we have to call him Jack?
Yeah,
He's
because that's
the
his
narrator.
actual name.
No, it's not. He's the narrator.
It's
In the credits, it says the narrator, Edward Norton.
yeah, but they have it's been talked about.
He's
a lot.
always referenced
It's
to it as Jack. They
Fair
always
enough.
call him Jack. His
They don't
name
call him
is
anything.
Jack.
Nobody calls him anything.
No, not in the movie.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
When talking about the movie, they call him Jack.
Okay.
Anyway, so while Tyler Durden's actions do end up in the end helping Jack develop as a person, that's always, in any good movie, that's always the circumstance. The villain ends up, and the conflict with the villain ends up helping the main character develop and get through their problems. That's what happens. But all of the actions that Tyler Durden do end up being bad.
But the thing is,
He's a
his
bad
philosophy was correct.
Yes.
That's
He
the
had
thing.
good intentions. But
And also his actions succeeded. That's the thing. I'm sorry.
having good intentions and following through on them
That was a spoiler, kind of.
That wasn't.
they don't make you a good person, and they don't not make you a villain. You can still be a villain with good intentions, and you can still fulfill those intentions within whatever the plot is, and still be a villain.
I feel like this just depends on your definition of a villain.
Yeah, and also,
Because
I mean, if
he's
you're going
such a
from,
complicated
Yes.
character in film.
and if you're basing it off an antagonist, I'm near the end.
No spoilers.
He's both. I'm not exactly. I'm trying to word it with
I'm
those
the
spoilers.
mediator.
But the thing is, he was helping. That's the thing. This whole thing was.
He was, but was he helping in the right way?
I think it was necessary.
Yeah, I think
that's
he
the
was.
thing. I think without
that
Tyler
doesn't-
Durden,
I think
not make him a
he is
Ja-
an anti-hero?
I would disagree with that.
That's not
Maybe?
an
I don't know.
anti-hero.
No.
I don't know. I need to think about it a lot. I haven't thought about this.
I was looking it up. I was doing research, and just somebody called him. They described him as a force of nature, and that was the thing. Like it was not.
Bang bang.
What?
Right there. There it is.
Yeah, he's a
Bang,
force of nature,
Yeah.
which can actually be the villain in a movie.
No,
That's
but it's
one of
like
the conflicts.
no, I understand,
That's
but
one
it's
of like
like
the 6 conflicts you can have: person versus person, person
fair
versus
enough.
self, person versus nature.
Yeah.
no, yeah, I get it, but it's like the way they described it. It was just he's not good or evil. He is just something, and like it was necessary. It actually helped, but at the same time,
This is literally just dependent on your view of a villain. I feel like
He is the conflict that Jack has. He is Jack's conflict with himself. He represents that,
okay.
and that makes him a villain.
But it wasn't.
He is. The
It was
center
more
of the
complicated than
conflict.
that.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yes, but also it wasn't just himself. It was this whole consumer society. That was the start of it. It was like he was buying things he didn't need to buy and all that stuff. And like Tyler Durden got him out of that. He pulled him away. And then he realized that like, and that's the reason. Oh, almost did spoiler. I'm sorry. Damn it. I will mention the other points later. But like, yeah, damn, I can't.
Yeah.
I almost had it.
All right, we had a solid discussion.
We had a solid discussion. Okay.
Jack, your turn.
Alrighty.
I like these discussions we have.
I gotta.
So, Jack, your movies? Have you any
Top
villains?
5.
My villains.
Top 5 villains?
My top
Whatever.
5?
Top,
No,
all
just
of the ones you
whatever.
wrote down.
All of the ones I wrote down.
Yes.
How many do you have there?
Okay, well, I have a list of 9, and then I have 4. I tried
9.
to narrow
You're
it
9.
down. My 9. Okay. I got the Joker. He is number 1. That is the only one who is in order.
You started at the wrong end of the check. It's
Doesn't
supposed to
matter.
get
Shut up.
More
Let's keep going.
intense.
You love the Joker because you love Dark Knight. We get it.
That's indisputable. He is number 1, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think
Don't.
we can dispute that.
Don't. say
Okay,
it.
well, I think I have a better villain than
It's
in
not.
my opinion.
I
It's
don't
an
know.
opinion.
It's not.
It's an opinion,
What is
dude.
it from that movie?
Okay, I'm
That's
not gonna
Chronicle
spoil it
in
yet.
Japan?
No,
Well,
no. it's
everyone-
not.
Everyone knows what it is. Okay, so should I just go down?
Yeah,
there?
we don't
Okay.
even have to discuss the
I got Agent Smith, Nurse Ratchet,
Nurse Ratchet's a
Nurse
great
Rat. That's a great pick.
Hannibal Lecter, Kaiser Soze, Colonel Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards,
Fantastic villain.
Edward Rooney,
Thank you.
the guy
Yes,
from
Edward Rooney.
No Country for Old Men, and Bane.
I would not put Bane on there.
I would absolutely keep Bane on there.
I would absolutely not put Bane on there.
I knew you were gonna do this,
I didn't
but
like-
I put it on anyway.
I didn't like Bane.
You're talking about Bane from the old Batman movies, right?
Hmm?
Where he didn't say anything and he was just like,
No, yeah, like Uma Thurman,
Yeah,
like George
yep.
Clooney.
what is that?
Yeah.
Batman Forever, I think.
Yeah, Batman or Batman and Robin. I think.
Is that that?
Was that Bat
Robin.
Nipples? Yeah,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
It's with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
And Bane only grunts. I
yeah.
believe.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great depiction.
I actually didn't know he was in that movie.
Oh yeah,
He is. He plays no role and he's like has no resemblance to
he's
what Bane
basically
really is,
Poison Ivy's like henchman.
which just makes the new Bane even better
Yeah.
for being so legit.
Fair enough. I didn't really care for Bane in the new one. Maybe
think
because
he's
because I read Bane comics. I don't know.
Well,
He's so much better in the comics.
I'm
than
sure
he
he
in the
is.
I haven't read Nightfall yet. I need to read.
but
Nightfall.
I think he was everything he had to be for that movie.
Yeah. I feel like such a hypocrite because I usually don't like to splice. I usually like to view a movie as a movie, but like, in this instance, I'm like I can't think of like Bane without thinking of the comic Bane and how much better the comic Bane was than real Bane.
Yeah, it's
So
hard
he was
to
a
do.
good he was a good villain in the movie, but just not as good as he's in the comic.
I think this is kind of the same thing that Jack's been. You've been reading The Shining,
Yeah,
and The Shining the movie is a great movie. It's a classic.
Yeah,
That's
it's a classic
widely
horror.
accepted.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to see The Shining. That's a thing you have to see."
because it's a masterpiece.
The book, you can
so much better. Like that's the thing. I got angry watching the movie because they left so much
Whoa.
out. Yes, I'm right. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
But it's just like no, with all respect to like I love that movie. I hate horror movies, but I love that movie. And like Jack Nicholson and all those things. But the book was just so much better. I have to say. And it's very and I thank you for bringing that up, Chris.
Yep.
Like it's very hard to like take those apart.
Yeah.
So I can see the comparison here between Bane being incredible in the movie and then much more, even extremely incredible in
The comic
the comic book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I thought he was a decent villain. I mean, like coming off the Joker.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
it's-
you can't
Exactly.
do that.
I know. I can't do that. I'm
I
sorry.
think my favorite
but-
thing about Bane was just how well thought out everything was.
Exactly.
He wasn't that traditional, big, impossible to fight in hand-to-hand combat villain. He was on that intellectual level too. He was like, the fight was brought on both levels.
Yeah.
It was a physical battle for Batman, and it was
guess
an
what?
intellectual battle.
Segue into my villains. Because I have a villain that's just like that. Syndrome from The Incredibles.
After watching that recently, yes,
Syndrome
I completely agree.
He's an amazing
Syndrome's
villain.
so good.
He's so well thought out and he's so well written.
Just even from
By
the
the way,
origin of him.
If you're laughing in your seat right now, I'm not kidding. This is not a Chris list. This is I'm being completely legitimate right now.
Dude, my list is legit.
The Incredibles is actually my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, no,
And-
same here.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
I think that
It is your favorite.
Syndrome is one of the most well-developed villains
Yes.
in the span that it takes,
Hmm.
because it's like an hour and 40
Agreed.
minutes,
Yeah.
and they developed this incredible villain in that small amount of time.
Yeah.
For a
But
kids movie.
we can't
What?
forget Bon Voyage, though.
So
Don't sleep on Bon Voyage.
I
Never
wanna bring up-
forget.
about Syndrome, I want to bring up that his intentions were good.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Which
His
was-
intentions were good.
One of the best things about him, that he had this great intention of making everybody equal and setting them all equal. And it's
And
just,
making everybody super.
yeah,
Yeah.
Using things that he made because he's a fucking genius.
just
Syndrome is a genius.
just like Tyler Durden had good intentions.
Stop. Just don't.
Yeah,
do
well,
this.
Tyler Durden didn't shoot down a plane with a mother and her 2 children, okay?
Did you see what he did?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, all right. We can't spoil things. Back to this regular conversation. We can talk about this
Anyway,
after.
yeah, Syndrome,
Like-
fantastic villain. Really smart, really calculated. And so I got to put my number... I'm just going to skip right to my number 1 because I don't really have a list like you, Jack. I'm going to skip right to my number 1.
Unprepared.
I
huh?
need a second just to prepare for what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say. We've had this
I know
conversation.
you're going to say it, and I'm just before the fighting happens.
It was
I wanna
on
think
your
of peace.
list, Jack.
I
was
know
on
it
your
was,
list.
and I respect him, but stop.
Agent Smith from The Matrix.
No.
Just you're wrong. I love him, but you're wrong.
All I can think of with the Matrix is the scene when Neo figures out he's the one, and he's like fighting him, and he just turns sideways and doesn't look, and just flips his arm up and down to block punches, and
It's
that's
not. He goes side to
effective.
side, too.
It's so
There's
funny.
some other directions in there.
And
yeah.
he just looks really confused and like disinterested.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that just summarizes Keanu Reeves. For me.
I think Agent Smith is one of the best written villains. I can almost quote his entire "Humans Are a Disease" monologue,
That was a great monologue.
which
I'll give him that.
is
Yeah.
one of my favorite villain monologues of all time.
Mhm. Yep.
I think he put, and here's my argument against Jack. This is my argument against his Joker. And don't
Here
get me
we go.
wrong, the Joker is second on my list because I love The Dark Knight and I love Joker. But here's why I think Agent Smith is a better villain than Joker. And we've had this conversation before, but
I
these
know.
people need to hear it.
You're just wrong.
In the world that Agent Smith inhabits, he is the biggest threat in that world.
You forget that in Gotham, like in Dark Knight, Gotham is the world. That is
Yeah.
the thing. Like that is it.
I disagree that he is the biggest threat because his entire purpose is to keep the world running. He's not a threat to that
Smith?
world. Yeah,
Smith is a rogue agent.
that
Smith is
that's
no longer an agent.
not in the
In the
first
second.
movie.
I'm
Which-
talking
in
about
which movie are you
over the
talking
Full
about?
trilogy.
Yeah, I'm talking
We're
about the full
going
trilogy. He's in all the
Okay.
movies.
Yeah, but
I was only talking about the first one.
No, I'm not talking. And he
I
becomes a
retract
rogue
my
agent in the
statement.
first one.
At the very end, when it's
Yeah.
like over.
I mean, but like even still, like
you could really.
I'm talking
connect
about the
them.
entire trilogy here.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you could really connect the two because they're like you know how Agent Smith, he's like turning everyone into Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Like you could argue that Joker, he's just trying to spread this chaos. Like it's
Yeah. No,
like, they're definitely more similar.
But I
than-
think that because spoilers if you haven't seen The Matrix, go see The Matrix, please.
go see Dark Knight too.
I mean, I'm talking about all three, the trilogy. At the end of the third one, both the robots and the humans and Neo all acknowledge that this man is going to destroy their world.
Mm.
Both the Matrix and the regular world. It's two worlds that he is going to destroy.
It's not a math problem with villains. It's not
Well,
like
I know,
have
I understand
more.
that, but like that's kind of what sealed the deal for me.
Yeah.
In the sense that like I acknowledge how amazing of a villain Joker is.
Yeah.
But like they were on the same playing field for me. Smith and Joker, but then the fact that Agent Smith posed so much of a threat to that world that humans and robots needed to come together to beat him.
Yeah.
Two mortal enemies needed to come together to finish this man.
Yeah.
That's what kind of brought him up onto that pedestal for me.
My thing for me about the Joker is just it's kind of the same with Nurse Ratched and McMurphy. It's just what they're saying about good and evil, how like neither can beat one another.
That's literally what they say in the Matrix too.
What? Yeah, but it's just
spoilers for the end of the Matrix. Neo dies.
Okay, I need to watch it again. But yeah,
Neo dies when Smith dies.
Yeah,
they are linked. They are the same person.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, again, I need to watch the third
There's
one.
literally the connection you're talking about.
With Batman and Joker, they don't die. That's the thing. Like they just keep on going. Like it's not a they end. It's a this is gonna happen forever.
Yin and yang. What I want to bring up about the Joker is that he's an ordinary person. He's not a computer program that was written to be all powerful and slowly gained more power. Mm-hmm. The scariest thing about the Joker was that he was an ordinary person. Like, he represented the chaos that was in each and every citizen of Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand. I know, like, what the Joker represents, and I acknowledge that he's an amazing villain, but for me, Agent Smith is just...
I'm going to say one more thing.
And oh my god, the fight scenes.
Okay, the fight scenes.
Like,
I give that to Agent Smith.
Yeah, there's nothing, like...
I'm picturing the same thing.
No, I'm talking about... I have a massive thing for the last fight scene in Matrix Revolutions.
Almost as good as Kill Bill.
That's actually my favorite fight scene.
Kill Bill
in any movie.
Yeah.
The final fight scene between Neo and Smith with the song, the infamous song. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna do it, and then I
was waiting.
My favorite fight scene is in the Avatar: The Last Airbender with Aang and Fire Lord Sozin. That's a badass fight.
Are you talking about the movie or the TV
no,
show?
dude.
Yeah, I thought you meant the movie.
The movie only covered the first book.
Oh my god.
So.
Okay.
I liked.
Oh, I actually had 2 more movies for my.
No, if we're gonna talk about Avatar, I actually liked Zuko and Azula's Agni Kai more than.
I just threw that
more than their fight. But
you can go back to your thing.
Anyway,
let's not get too far on this tangent before we go back.
It's with the rain and all the Smiths surrounding them.
It was really cool,
and the fact that when they punch each other, there's a bubble that occurs, and then all the rain hits the bubble and goes around.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's
that physics though.
It doesn't matter. That fight scene, like, I breathe so hard when I think about that fight scene.
No, but as for looks for fight scenes, I have to give that to Kill Bill. I've seen the last one.
The first Kill Bill?
The first Kill Bill. Oh, second Kill Bill, no. But
I haven't actually seen the second Kill Bill. I've only seen the first one.
It's like, you should consider it as one movie, but second Kill Bill's good.
So back to these villains.
I still got some.
And I'm going to make a plug for Joker, but...
Okay.
Do we need some comic relief for a villain right now? Because I have the most legit villain.
Please.
I have some comic relief for a villain. Edward Rooney.
Edward Rooney!
That's going to be a real discussion.
Yeah. We'll come back.
You know the movie Cars?
Yes.
The greatest villain. I'm going to put it on my list. Cars 2. The movie. The entire movie as the villain for Cars 1.
Destroyed.
That's the best villain you have on your entire fucking list.
Yeah, no, bravo. I
want to throw that one out there.
All right, we're almost at time, so I got to kind of wrap it up here. Actually, no, we're not. We're like 45 minutes.
Now we can talk about Edward Rooney.
Okay, Edward Rooney, amazing villain.
I will agree with
Absolutely
you.
incredible
100%.
I love it. For those of you who don't recognize the name immediately.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, my favorite movie ever. Yeah. There's not much more that needs to be said. Edward Rooney's just a great villain.
It's so cool. It's like a constant presence. Like, he's almost there. Like, he's almost got Ferris Bueller, and then, like, he's just an idiot.
Kind of like in Taken.
What? Kind of like in Taken.
When there always steps behind Liam Neeson.
Edward Rooney is Forrest Whitaker without the bagels.
Yes.
That's it.
Stop.
The bagels.
There's like 2 people that listen to this that know what you're talking about.
The bagels.
Wait a second. Ferris Bueller was the original Taken.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Shut up.
Think about this.
Oh my god.
Ferris takes a student from Edward Rooney.
Yes.
He takes him. And Edward Rooney is the only one with a special set of skills that can track down Ferris Bueller.
We just blew this wide
But it's
open.
in reverse, where Liam Neeson is doing the Taken.
Oh.
Taken for Ferris Bueller's Day Off 2.
We just figured it out.
Yes.
Taken, we're on to you.
Another one of my favorite villains is, since they're the same movie essentially, Tetsuo from Akira and Andrew from Chronicle. They're the same movie essentially.
I can't do Akira thing, but I will.
You should see Akira.
I agree, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I like Andrew as a villain.
Well, Tetsuo is basically the same villain, except a
Yeah,
little,
but this
bit more,
movie
little bit more complex.
doesn't
Yeah, but
exist in
people
my
have
world
seen
'cause I haven't
Chronicles.
seen
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. But just know that they're essentially the same character,
Yeah.
except Tetsuo is a little bit more complex. So I'm just gonna duel.
All right.
A little bit of dual villain there.
All right, we'll call them as like a group. We'll group them together. We'll call it Andrew.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
And those two
Tetsuo,
movies?
because Tetsuo's
Chronicles.
better.
But nobody's
recognizes-
seen it.
People. Okay.
So Andrew.
Don't say nobody's seen it,
Shh.
because it brought anime to the United States.
Stop. It's still not here.
Andrew has a villain.
Akira
Yes.
is popular.
Or is he an anti-hero?
Huh?
He was a good guy at first.
He's not. No, Andrew is absolutely not.
He was
He's
their
not an
friend,
anti-hero.
and he was
We need to look up the
misunderstood.
definition for an anti.
Okay, no, he's absolutely. Andrew is absolutely villain, and as is Tetsuo.
He was just misunderstood, man.
Stop. Please stop. You're hurting me. I had some more.
Oh, I actually have one that I didn't put on.
Yeah.
May I?
Yes.
Ozymandias, I have to say, from Watchmen. And
Not in the movie.
not in the movie, but I
In the
want to
graphic
talk
novel,
about
okay.
him, so I'm using the movie
Okay.
as like a way.
Okay.
I liked him
I
because
mean, we could branch into literature if you want.
If
and
you
like,
wanna.
and like comics and stuff.
hey,
I would love to.
Please,
Nega Scott from Scott Pilgrim.
just brought in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I did.
That's not a book.
It's not a book.
I said a work of literature and comics. I illustrated.
Oh, villains.
But Ozymandias, I just love because he posed like the greatest. I still cannot figure out. I'm not going to spoil it. I still cannot figure out.
Well, you're spoiling
whether
it by
or not-
saying he's a villain.
I don't.
You don't know he's the
care.
villain until the end.
Okay, I spoiled it. Oh no, let's hate Jack. He spoiled it. I don't
ruined
care.
everything. He ruined
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, I
Everything's
did.
ruined.
I just want to talk about
Um,
Ozymandias.
Yeah, he's a great villain.
I
Fantastic
know.
villain.
I love it. I still can't figure out if what he did was right.
I want to make a little addendum though to what I said before. Scott Pilgrim. I'm talking about Nega Scott in the book. I'm not talking about Nega Scott in the movie because Nega Scott is handled so terribly in the movie. It's not even funny.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
You've seen the movie.
That was the only movie my family has walked out on.
You've seen
I've
the
told
movie.
you that.
You've seen
Your
Scott
family
Pilgrim versus
walked
the World.
out on it?
Arthur walked out.
Really?
It was a
of
good
Scott
movie.
Pilgrim.
I liked that
He
movie.
walked out of it.
It was a good movie.
Wow.
He said, "Son, we're leaving now." He called me son.
Okay, well, I liked that movie. It was nowhere near as good as the books, but yeah. I had some more villains, but I forgot.
So if we're gonna talk about novels, I'd like to say Frankenstein,
You just love that.
the
book,
Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
Well, he is a great villain.
yeah.
Like if you actually read the book, if
Is
you
he an
don't like
anti-hero?
look at no, he's not anti-hero. Victor Frankenstein is an anti-hero
Okay.
because I think by
I actually haven't read it. I have no idea.
So the Frankenstein monster has good intentions at first, and it's only the world that turns him evil, and he doesn't even like being evil.
Mm.
He just feels that it's his responsibility to show his creator the pain that he's been through.
Mm.
But
Oh.
by doing so, he only inflicts more pain. So he never wants to be the monster he is,
Yeah.
but he's forced into it. And I think it's a great.
Okay, I'm
Hannibal
bringing in-
Lecter?
Hannibal Lecter, yes. I'm
Those are
bringing in
Jackson's.
an actual anti-hero right now. I'm just gonna
No,
drop it.
we'll do that next
I'm
week.
dropping
We'll
it.
do that next
I'm
week.
dropping it right
Stop.
now.
We'll do it next week.
I
It'll
wanna
be a good
say it.
segue for those people who are gonna like go through all these when you're like famous. You gotta read and like listen through your original material. It'll be a good segue because they'll just be going one to the next.
No, I want to finish villains because we're almost done.
You're oppressing me. I feel oppressed.
So you haven't seen Funny Games, right, Jack?
I need to see it. I can't. I'll just look it up on the internet.
Yeah, you should watch it because
I'll
the
do
villains in
something
that are some of
illegal.
my favorite in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I like those actors.
They're
I don't
so
know
good, dude.
how much they've been in, but yes, Chris. He's raising his
Wait,
hand.
are we done with your villain?
I'm looking through my list, my ratings.
Ooh, I've
While
got
you're
the
looking
Emperor
for that.
too, but that's it.
Regina George
Regina George
from Mean
though.
Girls.
Or we could argue the bus. that hit.
No, the bus is a good person.
Yeah.
Regina George as a villain, I think is.
Yeah, I like
She made- I
Regina
think she made a
George
good
as a villain.
She managed to corrupt Lindsay Lohan,
Yep.
being the pure white girl that she was from
Mhm.
Africa.
Yeah.
And corrupted her and brought her into the circle of evilness.
And it was very precise too. Like her thinking was very nice. It was very good for a villain. Like again, like calculated. Like she knew what.
Oh, I
she
got
was
one for
doing.
anti-hero next week. Think of anti-heroes next week, by the way.
Anti-heroes.
Please.
Ooh, I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna say it, but I have a movie to watch for anti-hero.
I have a movie to watch. I don't think it's anti-hero though.
No.
I just have to watch it.
What
Did you
is
guys
it?
know that Harry
Didn't see
Potter
it.
and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 got a 98% on Rotten
I
Tomatoes?
did not know that. It was a
A
great
90
movie, though.
something? What?
98%
No.
Rotten Tomatoes.
They
Wasn't that good?
they're on the
It's a
end
good
there.
movie. Wasn't that good? I'm just looking through my
That's
ratings.
just because the fans.
I'm just looking through my ratings on IMDb right now to see if there's any villains I forgot.
Sauron.
Sauron, yeah.
Sauron's a great villain.
Better than Sauron, I think, is
Gollum.
Saruman.
Saruman. Ooh, yeah, no, he's
Saruman
really
was
cool.
great in the first movie, but he kind of was a non-factor in a lot
Yeah,
of
he was like
movies.
nothing in the other ones. I liked him in the first one.
Yeah, I like him as a villain in that.
Oh, the
twist there.
Smaug.
Smaug. No, he's not a great villain.
Just because Benedict Cumberbatch played him.
Yeah, and he's
That's
in,
the
like,
only reason.
He's in so little of the movie.
The last one, he was in like 5 minutes. He was so
I'm
wasn't
funny.
gonna have to go with that obscure bad guy from Lucy.
You can't. That's
Was
not
Lucy
fair.
even a movie?
You won't let me watch Lucy.
No, I won't.
I think that
You
the
can't bring it
writers of Lucy are the true villains of that movie.
Yeah,
Right.
I second that.
I'm gonna see it.
Okay, just don't bring anybody else to see it.
I
with
need
you.
to. I can't watch a bad movie by myself.
Jack, do not
I
subject
can't watch a
anyone
horror
else.
movie or a bad movie by myself.
If I don't have to pay for it, I'll watch it with you, Jack.
I will gladly pay for
I
you.
will enjoy for that.
Yes. Oh, we have to watch Abraham Lincoln Vampire
We have
Slayer
like
tonight.
18,000 movies to
I know.
watch. The vampires from Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, we all went out and bought a bunch of DVDs yesterday.
I
Target.
bought 2.
Okay,
You're weird.
Fight Club was $3. Chronicle was $3.
Black Swan was
Black Swan was
$3.
$5.
No, it was $5. Yeah.
Black Swan was an incredible movie.
I love that movie.
I'm saying
now. That's definitely it's approaching top 10.
it's one
we
of my
should
favorite
talk
movies.
more about this next week.
We should. Yes. Let's.
Just recently saw that.
We should tell them
It was
all.
so good.
Go watch Black Swan. We're gonna talk
Definitely
about it
going
next
to talk
week.
about Garden State next week.
Oh
Watch
yes,
that.
I am very excited for you to
Yeah.
see that. I will watch it with you.
Okay, I just want to talk about my purchase.
All right,
The
no.
big,
It's
the
really
big purchase.
exciting, right?
The big purchase.
Oh yes.
The big one.
Oh, the big one.
The $15 one.
The $15.
I bought a combo pack of Spy Kids 1, 2, and 3.
It was the best purchase you've ever made.
$15.
The cast, though, of all three are
Can you
just.
look at? Can I?
Yeah, you can take it down.
Yeah, let's just throw some
Spy
names
Kids
out
1,
for
2,
you.
and 3.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find
Antonio Banderas. Yeah.
Steve
Robert
Buscemi,
Rodriguez.
like
Sylvester Stallone is the bad guy in the third one.
Elijah Wood.
Who's Elijah Wood?
He's like the greatest gamer like ever. Like,
Is he
that guy.
really?
He's the guy. Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. We're still
Right?
watching Spy Kids
Yes.
3 tonight.
yeah.
Spy Kids 3 is actually a piece of shit.
It's awful. It
Spy
was
Kids
in
1
3D though.
Spy Kids 1 was okay.
Yeah, for a kids movie.
Spy Kids 2 was
Spy Kids
really
2
good.
was-
Spy
that
Kids
was
2
incredible.
actually dealt with pretty mature themes.
I like it. Yeah.
That was dude.
And I
And then Spy Kids 3.
Spy Kids 3 is a piece of shit, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
Sylvester Stallone, why? You're better than that.
No, not anymore.
Sylvester
Well, not
Stallone.
anymore, but back then
He
he,
was.
could have been. He was Rambo.
He was
Do
also
you
in
ever
that movie
think about
Escape
that?
Plan. You said you didn't like Escape Plan.
They're so bad. Are you kidding me? I break out of prisons. Like, oh, I can't break out of this prison. Oh, I did. Like, that's it.
I like
Oh, hey,
Escape
spoilers.
Oh, yeah, he breaks out of the prison. I
Plan.
ruined it.
I like Escape Plan.
You don't.
I mean, I didn't.
Stop it.
It's really not memorable.
You can't make fun of me for, like, watching Transformers 4 and then you're like, oh, I love
Do
Escape
not put those
Plan.
two movies in the same league.
I'm gonna.
and I didn't say
did.
I liked it.
You do.
I don't.
Look at that smile on your face.
I don't really like it.
Yeah, you do. Stop it.
No, it was really forgettable. I don't even remember what that movie was.
We have evidence now of you saying you like that movie.
Whatever.
Actual recorded evidence.
What if I delete it?
You can't edit.
You can't edit it, man. You'd have to get Jimmy up here.
I was about to throw Jimmy under the bus, but I'm not going to throw Jimmy under the bus because he's not here to defend himself.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Do it.
I'm a good guy.
Do it.
I love you, Jimmy.
I'll pretend to be Jimmy. Go ahead, throw me under the bus.
No.
You can't be
Well, there's a
Jimmy.
bus outside. Go jump. So yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because I think we're almost at about time here.
Wait, is the tire from Rubber an anti-hero?
No.
Okay. I'm going to watch it anyway.
Oh yeah,
make sure.
think about anti-heroes because we're going to talk about anti-heroes.
The tire from Rubber.
Yeah.
This should be a thing.
Yeah, I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
We should do heroes afterwards.
No, we shouldn't.
We should.
No, it's
Protagonist is too
too
mainstream.
simple.
Nah, man.
We should do
Too
secondary
mainstream.
characters.
We should do, like,
Yeah.
extras. For...
I'm just gonna make my list the same thing every time.
And leave them on?
I'm gonna defend it.
I love we're planning the next podcast.
No. J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. That's one of my favorite
I
villains
need
also.
to see it.
Yeah.
Didn't see it.
The Emperor. I forgot to say the Emperor.
Oh, the Emperor. Of course.
From Emperor's New Groove.
from Star Wars.
See, you have
Everybody
to be
keeps
important.
saying that. It's from Star Wars.
The Chancellor.
The Emperor.
No, he's the Chancellor in the prequels. We don't want to
Yeah,
talk about
nobody
Darth
talks about the
Sidious.
prequels.
Darth
You can't just call him the Emperor. You can't call him Darth Sidious.
Do it now. Do it now.
That makes him the best villain.
Unlimited power.
No, it is you.
So this has been Darth Sidious impressions with Connor, Jack, and Chris.
He's a great villain, though.
Can that be
Yeah.
our next podcast? We just talk like Darth Sidious.
Good evening.
Darth Sidious impressions.
Welcome to the Suburbanites Podcast.
Oh my god. we
Alright.
did that.
I'm still gonna do that now. I'm gonna put that on my notes.
Okay.
I'm waiting for somebody else to like be funny and like hijack the beginning of one of the podcasts, but it hasn't happened
Too
yet.
bad we were
Because you make it so funny. Hello, I'm Connor. Welcome to our podcast. That's
that
you.
me?
That's you.
I have something for next time. It's okay.
Okay.
I've been planning it.
Wait, so we're not gonna do Darth Sidious next week?
You
No,
can
we
do
need to
that
do
for the
that.
opening,
Okay.
just for when it gets.
I'll bring bagels though.
So thank you for listening to this.
They'll be warm.
Who buys warm bagels?
Okay, shut the hell up.
Watch the movie.
Let me end the podcast.
No.
This is anarchy. This is tyranny right now.
I'm an agent
Okay.
of chaos.
So, we are on Twitter. Please follow us on Twitter at Suburbanites Pod. As I mentioned, 12 minutes into this podcast. I lost my fucking train of thought now. You're a jerk.
Twitter, podcast, and
Watch.
So,
Listen.
yeah, leave us your feedback.
I can't.
Leave us your feedback. We love feedback and things like that. I'm dead now. You've killed me with your warm bagels.
Thanks, Taken 3 for the warm bagels.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. And so I'm Connor.
I'm Jack.
and I'm Megatron. Autobots roll out.
I hate everybody.